What's up, everybody? It's your boy AB from AB_XY, and welcome to today's video. Today we are speaking to the man, the myth, the legend, worldwide celebrity Jaboosle YT is here in the building. Jaboosle YT, welcome to the studio. I hope the flight wasn't too terrible. You know, we fly everybody first class here on the ABXY podcast.
Of course, first class, first time, by the way, first time riding first class.
I'm hoping the buffet was, you know, top class, and you only got the green M&Ms. Your manager said you only want green M&Ms in your tray.
Exactly, only green. If I see any other color shit, I send it back.
My man Jaboosle, thank you for being here today. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. Jaboosle is blowing up, 15,000 subscribers, nearly 3 million views. I hope I don't got that wrong. My man, you've been grinding, you've been pumping out videos, and I would like to pick your brain. I want to talk about YouTube, I want to talk about gaming, and we want to get to know you a little bit better. So my first question for you, sir, is what got you started doing YouTube, and why mobile specifically?
Yeah, so the YouTube channel that I have right now is actually not my first attempt at YouTube.
What the hell?
Yeah, back in like 2017, I think. I tried to do YouTube and I tried to do a podcast, and it was just me. And I was basically doing, it was like a precursor to what I do now. It was just gaming news in general. And I think I did like 20 episodes, and it was, no one was watching. So I just gave up. And then like 2 years later, I was like, well, why don't I try to do the same thing, but with mobile gaming? And instead of a podcast, I could just do normal videos. And so that's when I started the Jaboosle channel, and I started to make videos back in like late 2019, I think.
That is the first time I've ever heard of you having a channel before this. What kind of content was on the other channel?
It was literally just like, I would just have a wallpaper, you know, like the video. There was no gameplay or anything. It was just like whatever game I was talking about or whatever was in the news that particular week in gaming, it would just be that. And it was just me talking about it for like 20-25 minutes, like straight.
Oh, wow.
And, it was usually like I think I was doing like one episode a week. So it was basically just like a compilation of everything that week in gaming, not even mobile gaming specifically, just like gaming in general. And that was basically what it was.
Does that channel still exist? Is it still like up on YouTube?
No.
Why'd you take it down? Did you delete it?
Yeah, after like a year, I just remembered that I did it, and then I was so embarrassed that maybe someone in real life would find it, so I just deleted everything.
No, you got embarrassed of your YouTube?
Yeah, that was another thing that I kind of like overcame with this attempt at YouTube, was like I didn't tell anyone at all about the first attempt, and then the second one, it was basically just between me and my girlfriend for a while, but now like my mom knows about it,
right.
My brothers, my cousins and stuff like that. And so, yeah, that was something that I had to get over, because the first attempt, I was embarrassed about it. And then the second attempt this time, you know, it was like, no, I'll let people know about it, especially because now I can show them like the numbers that the channel's getting, you know, and it's like, oh, it's a real thing.
So does it feel like a lot better, like when you tell people like, yeah, I got a little YouTube channel, and they're like, how many subscribers you got? And you're like, like 15,000. That's a pretty good number, by the way.
Yeah, when I think I told my cousin, and I was like super excited to tell him, because I was like, oh, finally, like it feels like a big number, you know? And I think that was when I hit 1K, was when I was like, okay, I'm going to tell him, because it's going to be more than just like, oh, look, I made a YouTube channel, but I've only made like 4 or 5 videos. I was like, no, I have 1,000 subscribers, like 400 videos uploaded and stuff. And so, yeah, it was definitely, I was a lot more confident just because it was a lot bigger than the first attempt at YouTube.
So do a lot of like your IRL, like friends, family, co-workers, are you okay with telling like strangers about it, or is it still like a select group of people that you'll tell about the channel?
I don't know if I'm like particular about who I share it to. I think it's just like if it comes up kind of thing, you know, like I'm not going to everyone and being like, look at my YouTube channel and stuff. So like, for example, in like my personal social media, the ones that are not connected to my YouTube.
Oh, right.
Pretty much no one knows, because I've never posted about it and I've never talked to anyone about it. So even like my close friends, I haven't seen them in a while, you know, because COVID and stuff. So I just haven't had the opportunity, I guess, to talk about it with them. And so when it comes to like my inner circle, I guess pretty much everyone at this point knows. And everyone else that doesn't, that's in my life, it's mainly just because I haven't seen them because of COVID and stuff.
Right. That's true. Your channel, I guess you can call it kind of like has existed during this pandemic. So everything kind of just exists online at the moment. It's kind of crazy. Kind of a crazy time to explode. I don't know if that was a good thing or bad thing for like content creators, because I feel like in a way more people are home. They're consuming more digital media. I know like a lot of the kids, they're not at school, so they're just at home watching videos or playing video games, and I don't know, might have been a good thing for us like content creators, especially for you, I would say.
Yeah, dude, for me it was the best thing, because prior to COVID, I did have the Jaboosle channel. I had made videos and stuff, but it had been like 3-4 months of uploading like once every 3 weeks or something like that. Like I was not consistent with it at all.
Right.
And there was like these huge gaps between each upload. And then once, like, I think I started uploading really consistently like 2 or 3 months into COVID. And it was because all of a sudden I had so much time because I was like working from home and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So now it was like, well, I have no real reason to not, work on my YouTube channel anymore. And I'm already playing mobile games anyway, so I might as well, make it into a video. And so that's when I like really started to upload every single day. It was when, COVID hit us basically.
Yeah. When you were announcing, like when you changed your bio to like, I make videos every single day, I was like, this dude's crazy. I was like, every day? Like, dude, that is a lot of, like, that's a lot of grind. But hey, I mean, the grind paid off.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to go back to what you mentioned about your previous channel. You say you took that channel down, but you were speaking to a microphone or to an audience for about 20, 30 minutes a video, right? Do you feel like that gave you a lot of practice as far as like your speaking skills? Because I feel like the way you present your videos is like, it's super well done and it feels natural. Like you're really good. Like you're good with your commentary, like straight up.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think it definitely did help at the very least getting used to like speaking to just a microphone and like looking at a screen and stuff, because like when I first started doing that, it was really weird and it felt awkward. Once I started the Jaboosle channel, I think that's whole thing, that awkwardness was kind of not really there. It was I definitely did have like a lot of anxiety for starting the channel again because it was brand new and stuff, and I didn't know how it was going to work out and all that. But when it comes to the actual like speaking part, I think I had already overcome that with the first attempt. So it definitely did help when I started with the Jaboosle channel.
When you started off the Jaboosle channel, you had a very specific color theme and a logo. And then most recently, you switched up to this new like black and green Jaboosle. What kind of prompted you to switch up the branding? Was it just the channel growing, or were people asking for like a new look?
Yeah, so the previous like channel branding was like red and yellow, I think. Like the logo was red and yellow. And I definitely did have an emphasis on like uploading PUBG content. The first logo that I had was like the PUBG guy. It was like a cartoon version of the PUBG guy.
I remember he had the little helmet and everything.
Yeah, he had like the level 3 helmet and all of that.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I stopped making PUBG content, so it kind of felt out of place. Like why is my logo a PUBG guy if I'm not in my personal life? I'm not really playing PUBG, and on my YouTube channel, I'm not really uploading it. So I started to think a little bit about like rebranding and doing something just a little bit more general, and that's where I came up with the current branding stuff. Like I basically just used an app that comes with like a bunch of pre-made logos and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And I chose one that's cool, and yeah.
Oh, okay. So then, did the same app generate the intro that you've been using for your videos too?
I don't know if it's the same app or if I think I used a different one, but it was like the same color scheme, and I was like, oh, that fits perfect. And then I basically
I was gonna say, I when I saw the new branding, I thought you legit paid someone on Fiverr to like design you this whole logo and intro because it matches perfectly.
Yeah. Now that I'm remembering it, they were in 2 separate apps that aren't related, and I think I just came across it and I was like, oh, the color scheme is basically exactly the same, and I'm just gonna combine them. And yeah, I have done the Fiverr thing a couple of times. I paid some guy to make me a couple of like YouTube banners for Apex Legends Mobile, so I have those ready. I've used them in the past, and then I have them ready in case I did switch to making a lot of Apex content. But for now, I think the simple design that I'm using right now is what I wanted to go with.
And I wanted to go to your very first video for the Jaboosle channel. And I got to say, my man, all your previous experience, I think, led to a very solid first video. And I was wondering if you wouldn't mind taking a peek at it again.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry if this is all very cringy, bro. I'm doing my best to be a good interviewer.
No. The funny part is just like I'm thinking, I'm just like, I'm gonna have to listen to myself. That's one thing that I still kind of struggle with, is like listening back to myself.
Okay, so on the screen now, I got it loaded up. This is Jaboosle's first ever video loaded to this new channel, which I didn't know was your second channel, but I guess your experience shows. This video was uploaded September 12th, 2019. It's at a good number, 420 views. And what's funny is that I've been looking at the comments, and a lot of people are actually coming to your video. There's a comment here from 10 days ago that says, "Not gonna lie, I missed the first month COD Mobile was out because it felt more like its own, in my opinion. Now it's feeling like 2019, but I like 2019. Okay, that comment made no sense.
I remember looking at my recent comments, and a few of them were like people going back to that video just to see like what was his first video. And that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you got a comment here from 1 month ago. Proof Jaboosle is a time traveler from the future. Oh, hey, there's someone here with a pretty good question. It says, do you miss those days when you had less subscribers? And you replied, no, because sometimes it got discouraging making videos and getting 2 views and being stuck with no subs. But once I started to get some attention, it was really fun and cool to interact with the same people every day and just talk about mobile games and stuff. Hey, that's what's up, Boost.
It's a little bit of a hurdle at first when you're like, you feel like you put a lot of effort into your video or your live stream or whatever it is. And like, you know, you just don't know how to get people to enjoy it. And once you start to get people to enjoy it, though, it just becomes way more enjoyable, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely, dude. I mean, it must feel good. Like it's like any artist, right? Like you work so hard on something, you want people to enjoy it, you know, because if you only made it for yourself, then, you know, it kind of defeats the purpose. You know, this is kind of like a social platform, social media, right? And you want other people to enjoy it. So you're busting your butt. And, you know, when people are finally, you know, kind of appreciating it and looking at it the way you look at it, or from a different perspective, it's like, oh, finally someone gets it.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly.
All right, I'm going to hit play. And, dude, I'm just impressed by this video, bro. Like
Hey guys, so this is a video as to why I think Call of Duty Mobile is going to overtake PUBG Mobile. Right now, PUBG Mobile is probably the most popular first-person / third-person shooter on mobile. It's huge in America. It's even bigger in Eastern countries like India.
What microphone were you using then? Because you've obviously upgraded now.
Yeah, back then, I'm pretty sure I had like a $25 headset, like no name brand, you know, like that. And I tested recording straight from my iPad, like using the iPad's microphone and then the headset one, and they both sounded terrible. But the headset was slightly better, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna use that headset.
Dude, that's dope. You know, and it's actually crazy seeing how far COD Mobile has come. Like this looks so I don't know, it looks so old now.
Because there are a lot of different,
it's kind of nostalgic seeing it.
PUBG Mobile has,
and it's crazy because it's only a couple years old.
Updated and also
the game looks. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but like you don't see people sliding everywhere.
Things like skins.
Yeah, this is back before everyone mastered the movement and everything
and stuff.
Did I remember playing this and thinking I was so good?
I think right now.
Yeah, me too.
How could you miss that knife boost? Come on, man.
As the mobile king when it comes to first person I think it's COD Mobile. You know, COD has the brand behind it. COD
and so
is
yeah, man, I just kind of wanted to look at this one because even from just the beginning, I'm just really impressed by like your style, your presentation, I feel like you've stayed true to that style of video making, but like obviously now like you just took it to like another level. Have you tried to keep it similar, or is it just kind of natural to like your style? I would,
I think it's just always been my style because I'm surprised not many people have actually brought this up before, because I've gotten a few comments saying like, oh, you have such a unique style and stuff like that. And in reality, I've basically just been doing what Call of Duty YouTubers have been doing since like World at War and like Modern Warfare 1 and 2 and stuff like that. I don't know if you watched like YouTube content back then for COD, but they were just like general Call of Duty commentaries where they would just have gameplay in the background and then they would just talk into a mic like a normal person, And that's pretty much like I used to watch those type of videos all the time, like Woody's Gamer Tag and White Boy 7th Street and Hutch and all these other like really older Call of Duty YouTubers and stuff. And the type of content that I make now is very similar to what they used to do, but they would do it specifically with Call of Duty. And I've obviously branched out into like mobile games and talking about a bunch of different games all at once and stuff like that. But yeah, I've always had that style because that era of like Call of Duty YouTubers really influenced me, and it was the type of content that I like to see. So it was the one that I wanted to make.
So there was some influence, or I guess you could say you were inspired by some, I guess, existing or people that you had been watching before.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was like I don't know, like for example, like right now with like mobile gaming content, it's usually people sticking to one game in particular, and that's something that I never really wanted to do. For example, because in my real life, I play like so many different games all at once, so I wanted my my content to reflect that. And when it came to like the type of content I wanted to make, when I thought about it, I was like, well, what do I like to watch? And the type of content that I like to make is generally what I like to watch. So I wanted to do that as well and stuff, and it's basically just like influenced by that era specifically of YouTube.
What would you say are like your like top 3 like tips for, growing a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I think the 2 most important things are that you make content that you really like, because you're going to be doing it really often, like pretty much every day. And if you don't like it, then obviously you're not going to like doing it. So, and I think the second thing is the consistency part, because like I've had a lot of friends or like people that I know who are like, oh, I just started YouTube or I just started a Twitch. And then you ask them like when they stream or when they make a video or whatever, and it's like once every 2 weeks or like once every 6 months or whatever. And it's like you're never gonna grow. You're not gonna such very little people make like 10 videos and then hit 100k subs. Like there's like a million other people who uploaded like 1,000 videos and they barely cracked 10k subs or whatever it is. So realistically, like you need to be consistent. You need to upload every day or stream every day, whatever it is, and it goes in hand with the making content that you like, because you're not going to be able to be consistent and stuff unless you're doing something that you genuinely enjoy.
How much have you had to learn as far as like making videos and your research? Like how much have you had to like learn to be able to apply it for your videos?
Yeah, I had to learn everything, honestly. Like the only thing that I had experience with prior to doing YouTube was making like thumbnails, I guess, because I never made thumbnails before, but I did take like a couple of years of photography in high school. So I had some like photo editing experience and stuff. Like I knew what programs to use and I knew general things,
Right.
But when it came to like editing, when it came to recording gameplay and stuff like that, I had no idea. Like I basically just used YouTube, since YouTube's like an excellent resource for learning things.
Oh, definitely.
I basically just used YouTube to learn how to edit or like what apps to use or whatever it was, and I basically just went from there. Like I basically just taught myself.
I remember you mentioning you were making, recording, and editing all of your videos on your phone. Are you still doing that, or are you also doing like some editing on PC, laptop? Are you trying different techniques now?
Yeah, so I still make all of my content entirely on my iPhone. I basically play games on my iPhone, and then I'll record that on it, and then I'll edit it and upload it, and then afterwards I'll make the thumbnail. Everything is done on my phone. And I have switched it up a little bit throughout the channel's like lifespan. Like for a while I was on iPad, so I was doing all of that on an iPad, which is a lot easier because it's bigger and stuff like that.
Right.
And I did for a little bit. I did try. I didn't make any videos for it, but I was trying to learn how to edit on PC. But to be honest, like the programs that I used were just way more like advanced than the ones I use on mobile. So I kind of just gave up because they were just way too advanced for me. I felt like I was going to put a lot of time into learning how to edit in something like DaVinci Resolve or something. And I basically just gave up, and I was like, I know how to edit on mobile, and I'm just going to continue doing it on there.
Well, it pays off, man. I feel like sometimes people, maybe for like beginners who are looking at starting a YouTube, you know, they immediately look at the top. You know, they look at people like, let's say, for example, if you're trying to do a COD mobile channel, you look at the top guy and you're looking at iFerg. And he's got all the top of the line equipment and cameras and editors. And, you know, I think a lot of people want to replicate that, but the people don't realize that he started simpler. You know, he started at a simpler moment, you know, in his career, where he was using, you know, not the latest technology, cameras, all that stuff. So I think a lot of people that are trying to get into YouTube now, they have the advantage of like how you're doing everything on your phone. You know, you don't necessarily need to have top of the line PC, microphones, you know, capture cards. You can literally do it all on your phone. And I mean, like Jaboosle, you're like standing evidence, bro. You're proof of what is possible. You know what I mean? Like you're doing it all literally on your phone. And this man is 3 million views, 15,000 subscribers. World famous, bro. You're getting views from around the world, I bet, right? Like where is your audience like reaching? Like what are the craziest places of like your demographic, bro? Like how far are you reaching?
Yeah, so for the longest time, the vast majority of my viewers were actually from the US, which was surprising because, you know, the US isn't really known for being really popular with mobile gaming in general. I would imagine like even less so with mobile gaming content.
Yeah.
And sorry, there was a really loud car.
No, my dog was barking earlier. I was just like, well, show must go on.
So for the longest time, it was the US. But right now, I think my two top regions are India and the Philippines. And then it's the US.
Dude, that's crazy.
And then I think number 4 is actually Australia, which really surprised me.
What? Aussie.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't even know you guys like mobile games, and you know, like, and it's crazy because they're definitely in my top 5. I'm not sure if they're number 4, but they're in my top 5. And then I think the other country that I saw was like Indonesia, maybe, or somewhere.
Malaysia, Indonesia. Yeah, I get a lot of love from them too.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I think right now though, India is my biggest viewer base. I think they're like at like 19% or something like that.
That is crazy. I would have never imagined, like you said.
Yeah, dude.
I wonder what it could be. I wonder why. It'd be interesting to, you know, find out what it is with the that demographic and the mobile gaming. It's interesting.
I think it's mainly because, like, you know, mobile gaming is just so big in those countries. Like it's just readily accessible and people actually take it seriously. So naturally they look for like content on YouTube, they look for streamers and stuff like that. Whereas I feel like here in the States, there's a lot of people who just have access to PC and consoles, and that's kind of what they prioritize when it comes to the content they watch. So I feel like that's why it's way more popular in places like India and stuff.
Yeah, I think the accessibility. I imagine too. Like if you're trying to buy a PS5 in Australia, it's probably like $800 retail. That's crazy.
Yeah. I had a commenter one time tell me that he wanted a PS4, but I forget exactly how much it was in his currency, but like translated to US currency, it was like $500, and I was like, dude, that's the cost of a PS5.
Yeah,
you know,
like you're paying next gen prices for the last gen.
Exactly. And I'm like, no wonder people don't have consoles in like places that are not the US or Europe and stuff. Like some of the prices are just crazy when it comes to other places in the world.
How do you come up with topics and, you know, from the beginning to the end? Can you kind of walk us through that?
Yeah, so usually, like, even before I had the YouTube channel, I was into mobile gaming, so I was constantly like watching videos on like upcoming mobile games, or I would go on websites like Gaming on Phone, which is like a popular mobile gaming specific like news site. And I would just like read articles, or I would like look at various different developers and their announcements and stuff and like what they were working on. And so now when I'm thinking of like a topic for a video, that's basically what I do. Like I'm just like looking up what's coming out soon, or is there any leaks for or any information for this game that I'm interested in and stuff. It's basically just a lot of Googling. And then once I find the information that I feel like is valuable, I'll usually just save it, and then I'll find a way to kind of work it into the video and like present it in a way that makes sense, I guess. And but it's basically just a lot of Googling and a lot of keeping up to date with even other creators or leakers and stuff on places like Twitter and Reddit. And it's basically just a lot of research.
Yeah, I've noticed you've recently become like the go-to source for like the news. Like now people aren't no longer looking to other sources for news. Like now they're just going to you for news, because you're even getting like exclusive stuff. Like now you're talking to leakers. Now you're getting in contact with, like, for example, NetEase. That was huge, bro.
I think that's mainly just because I don't know. I've seen I don't really keep up with a lot of other leakers on YouTube specifically, and it's mainly because a lot of them will, like I don't want to talk bad about any of them, but a lot of them will kind of make up some stuff, and or they'll read too much into something and they'll try to make it seem like a big deal.
Right. I feel like that kind of happened with like Area F2. You know what I mean? Area F2 was kind of like went off the chains, bro. Hello? Jaboosle? Somebody get me a tech. I think Jaboosle went offline. We need a technician. Someone needs to tap into Jaboosle. What happened to Jaboosle?